Welcome back, everyone, to the Complete Pineleaf. I am back here in the hall under the mountain where we're going to find out how we're going to reforge a kingdom. Long have I known the troubles hindering Erebor, and time has not abated any of them. My father Dine strengthened our alliances and brought great wealth to the north, but before the end of his reign he felt that something unknowable had begun to slip beyond his grasp. In truth, our crafts grew cruder and simpler, and monuments once majestic and without equal in this realm now stood in silent mockery of our declining skill. We have felt this loss for many years now, but alas, it was not the only cost that we have borne with the passing of the years. Dees tends to the ravens as she always has, but they do not speak to Durin's folk as they once did. It is habit alone that keeps her at Raven Hill. Our friendship of old with the ravens has faded to naught. And now these stout axes come to Erebor seeking refuge and freedom from their oppressors in Mordor, and still a few among us would deny their own kin and cousins. These are troubling enough for any king under the mountain, but it falls to me to resolve them. So resolve them I shall. Alright, so I need to help Brothy with the essays of old to help to recover from what has been declining. Deeth with the ravens of the north, as long as I don't bring a wizard there. I know that she doesn't like a certain wizard. And to aid King Thorn in forging trust. Okay, so how do we forge trust? I have thought much on Ambassador Sparcourt's words. These stout axes have fled oppression and devastation, and now I hear there are dwarves in Erebor who would sooner spit on them than welcome them as friends. This is not the way of Durin's folk. The stout axes are our kin, whether they believe it or not, and they must be treated as such. You and Gimli know well what the stout axes have suffered, and you know their minds, as none among us do. Speak to the mistrustful few among us, and reassure them that the stout axes come to us as refugees and friends. Alright, I will speak to the mistrustful dwarves. And I guess look for Brothy, if Brothy is in this area. Now I know where Dees is going to be. She, is, of course, will be at Raven Hill. Here's someone who seems to be a bit mistrustful. Yes? Alright, let's talk to him. I shall give these stout axes a chance, even if I think they're a bit thin-bearded. This is gonna take some doing. Here's another mistrustful dwarf. Yes? So I see. Perhaps I'll hear more from them. That you have to hear more from them. Yes, perhaps you will. Thank you. Now, is there another one around here? Ah, here's another one. You are known to us, and I trust your words in this matter. Oh, well, that's good to know. Now that means one more that Thorn wishes me to speak with. And here's the last one. What do we owe them? They're not the only dwarves who have lost a home. While you are not certain that you have changed the minds of all the dwarves, you have done well eased the tensions. Alright, well, I guess that helps a little bit. Now to find Brothy. Ah, here's Brothy right now. Hello there.
A glorious day.
Hail, Pineleaf! You've been sent by King Thorn. What does he wish of me? Yes, of course, of course. King Thor and then our smiths have spoken long on methods that might improve our crafting skill once more, but we have not yet attempted any such designs. It seems that the time has come. As for the weapons lost in the fields of battle, I would ask that you seek them out. In the meantime, I shall speak to our smiths and make certain that the forges are prepared. Once you have gathered as many dwarf made weapons as you can bear, deliver them to me. So collect abandoned dwarf maces, abandoned dwarf made swords, and abandoned dwarf made axes. Alright. I suppose we shall. Now, I would think that if there were an axe embedded like this, that even if there were a huge number of weapons, too many of them to collect them all over the place, that they would have at least have picked up that axe. I am surprised that the winds haven't knocked it down or anything like that. I mean, this thing must be starting to get rusty because how long have they been here? Perhaps ever since the Battle of Dale and Erebor, those particular battles, meaning just before the fall of Sauron. And I have gone through Mordor since that time and come up here to Erebor, so I've been rather busy in what I've been doing in here. So you would think that someone might have had some chance to pick up some of these weapons. Now I can see some of them are in rather obscure places, and I can see them being missed. But the one that was embedded in the road. Alright, this one might be a little bit harder to find. The ones embedded in the road, though, I think that should have been cleared up. Before I return those weapons, I thought it'd be nice to speak with Adise to see what she needs. Probably need to fetch for water or something like that. Hello again. What do you want? Ah, so King Thorin thinks that he might put all the rights now, does he? He did not seem so concerned about the minds of the ravens when Dain was king under the mountain. He must know the truth of it. You see, the line of Kark nears its end. Roach is dead. His children are dead. And now Arka, daughter of Croar, is all that remains. I tend her lesser kin as best as an old dwarf may, but she is the last chief of the great ravens, and it has been many years since we last spoke in the forgotten ways of Durin's folk. She has gone elsewhere, beyond my sight. I don't know if she will ever return, but if the king under the mountain wishes to heal the wounds of time and once again share true friendship with the ravens, it will be no simple errand. I can speak with them if you would still hear me, but they will not listen without the offerings that once adorned their homes. I have seen sparkling trinkets borne by the Easterlings come from the north, and I believe the ravens may find them to their liking. Bring me those trinkets, and we shall see if the ravens still desire friendship with Durin's folk. Alright, collect trinkets from the Jangavar. Well, I wish I thought of that back when I was fighting them earlier. Oh well, let's go. Let's go find the Jangavar. Ah, more Jangavar. Perhaps some of these will have some trinkets. Hi there! Something tells me that, considering the troubles they're giving us, it'll be easier to get them from the Jangavar through battle rather than going on and seeing if I could purchase them for it. I mean, if we were talking about the Doridians, for example, it'll probably be easier just to trade them for them. But right now, it looks like in these pairings, only the Marauders have them, and their lesser underlings seem not to carry them. I think I found all I could by scouring the countryside for those marauders. Now let's see if the ones inside of these strongholds have any. That'll certainly get me many more trinkets. And help to thin the numbers and the ranks of these particular areas. Of course, the ones who have more trinkets are probably the ones who get the better duty, right? Yeah. There you go. Alright, and I'm quickly getting up the numbers in there, and soon I am going to have plenty for these ravens. I hope that these will do. I cannot give the king under the mountain what he seeks, not without time. The ravens must decide if such an offering pleases them, and perhaps one day the younger dwarves of Durin's folk will witness the return of Arka and the friendship that was lost. Right? A first start, I guess. A first start. And now, let's go and deliver these weapons. These are the weapons that I could find.
Long live Thorin Stonehelm, King under the mountain!
It may not seem it to the unskilled eye, but a few of these weapons were forged long ago. They will be safe from the hands of the Easterlings here in Erebor, and serve as a reminder of the skill of Durin's folk. These newer weapons were not crafted in the same way as the weapons of old, and they have seen great damage from the war. I shall have to reforge them using the new methods our smiths have devised with King Thorin. Let us hope that King Thorin's guidance will restore our works to their former glory. Baruch Kazad. Woo! What? There's an entire new... there's an entire new reputation track for the Dwarves of Erebor. Oh, wonderful. Well, I don't see that one ever being completed. Let's hope that this works. You have done much for Durin's folk, Pineleaf. We have had little time to celebrate our victories or acknowledge the sacrifices made to achieve them, and I would take this day to honor them. When the war was ended, I sent missives far and wide to all the dwarves of Durin's folk. Let us hope that many travel to join us here on this day for the revelry. All right. Even in the face of such loss and devastation in the north, we of Durin's folk must celebrate. We show gratitude to our families, for our friends, and for what coming joys remain hidden. My father, Dain, understood this well, and I would honor his memory. I sent invitations to all of Durin's folk, and hope that the last of our guests has arrived now. One has spent too long away from his kin, and I do hope that he sees now that his return is welcomed by all. You have served my people of the north, shown great bravery in far-off battles, and Gimli, son of Gloin, regards you as a true friend. You have earned a place at my table. Come, Pineleaf, come, accept his invitation for a dinner. It is time. Come.
It is a day of unity for Durin's folk, as we gather to celebrate our triumph over Sauron, welcome new allies from Mordor, and honor the return of old friends.
It is a day of great celebration for Durin's folk, Pineleaf. All around us the halls of Erebor echo with laughter and merriment, as well as they should. This day we honor our friends and our kin, and we proclaim our victory over the enemy and those that followed him. Come, my friends, Let us join the others at my table. Walk with me, Pineleaf. Right? Although my folks celebrate all around us, we have prepared a special feast for my honored guests. All right? Up, 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 up. You're the honored guests right now. Of course, Dees is here. This day we honor the dwarves of Thorin's company, those that battled the enemy, those that we hold in friendship, and those that we have lost. Each of them has served Durin's folk honorably, and you are no exception. All have earned a seat at my table. And this is your seat, my friend. All right, thank you. It was crafted in the time before Smog came to Erebor, but now it has gone. He is gone. It still remains. Take a look at it if you wish. Oh, okay. There you go. The stone wrought chair bears a few marks of age, but it appears to be surprisingly comfortable. It is rather strange for a stone chair. It's a fine work, is it not? I did not choose it for you on a mere whim. King Thorin glances at the remaining empty seats in the table. Ah, but a few of my guests are still absent. I sent word to Sparkorth and his warriors, but I do not know if they understand my meaning. I'm certain they are about in the hall, but I wish for them to join me at my table. Sparkorth and his kin are our new friends and allies, and I would not deny them a warm welcome to Erebor. Would you seek out Sparkorth and his kin? Send them here, as we shall soon be able to begin our feast. All right, so let's find Sparkorth and the stout axes, and we shall be able to eat, because we all know that's why we're here, right? It appears that they have joined the general population here. Sparkorth? Oh, Pineleaf, how good to see you! It has been quite a celebration already, don't you think? I have never heard such songs or ever seen such dances, but I'm pleased to be welcome among Durin's folk. Do you wish to join us? Actually, you've been invited to the main table along with Jury and Noth. Oh, of course we accept the invitation. It will be a great honor to feast with the king and to thank him again for the kindness that he has shown our people. Jury, Noth, come to me! Alright, that's enough dancing for now. I guess there'll be time for dancing later on. And now, let's return to my seat. That filled in a few more seats, but it looks like that glowing wishes to speak with me. Well, is there somebody else missing? Well, let's see. There is a chair here that's missing. Okay, that's Thorin's chair. And a couple of benches there that could use someone. Hey, Pineleaf, I'm glad to see you here at the table. You're a fine adventurer and ever a friend of those in need, and your presence here is well earned. You're not unlike my Gimli, except you were courteous enough to attend at the time King Thorin requested. I know Gimli is here in the hall somewhere, but I have not seen him for some time. I think he has gone off with Dory and Nori, but who can say? Will you find him and send him here? For that matter, send Dory and Nori as well. We can't wait all day to begin the feast. Well, alright, so that's supposed to be Gimli's seat, I guess. And Ori and Nori, I guess, are going to be in one of those two benches. They'll be sharing a bench, I presume. No. Where have they gone? Ah, here's Gimli. Oh, Pineleaf, I didn't realize that we've been speaking so long. You see, I've been talking to Dory and Nori about my adventures, and I had just mentioned the book I discovered in the halls of Khazad-dûm. It concerns their brother, Ori, and Balin's expeditions, but I should not tell such stories on a day of celebration. It is not the time for such things. Oh, that book? Huh. Yes, we should go join the king under the mountain at the table at once. All of this talk has made me hungry. Yes, it has certainly made us hungry. Well, that's it for now. Let's not keep the king waiting. Nope. So I'll head on down. Yep, just go ahead. Alright, it looks like they have the outer bench instead. So that means back to Thorin. Alright, is everybody here or is there somebody still to arrive? Thank you for gathering my folk, Pineleaf. There is a little sense in having a feast if there's no one in which to share it. This is a fine assemblage of friends and kin. But one more guest has still not arrived. It was he I hoped to see most of all, for his long absence from his people should be ended. Let us wait just a few more moments more for his arrival, and then we shall begin the feast. All right. It seems that our guest has not yet arrived. You have been patient, my friends, but let's wait a moment longer on his behalf. Will he arrive? Perhaps not. Disappointed that his guest must not be coming, King Thorin shuffles impatiently and begins to speak. Before we begin, I would like to thank each of you for honoring me with your presence. Durin's folk know peace once more. What? Hold on. Hail, King under the mountain! Oh, what's this? The journey was long, but we came as swiftly as we could. I am sorry I do not recognize you, my friend, but who is your companion? Frithgear! Ah, yes! Nar! 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 You have traveled far indeed, from the distant Combe of Thor to our home in Erebor. You have borne an old exile from Erebor as a burden of your own, and that is now ended. It is my honor to welcome you to our halls. Will you and your companion join us in our feast, old friend? Old indeed. You look quite young for your age, King Thorin. Yes, I think a meal is just the thing. I'm sure he's conflating the Thorns. Have a seat, old friend. There will be time enough for talk later. It brings me great joy to see the many dwarves of Durin's folk and our kin from the east united at once. If we do not recognize and celebrate such times in peace, it is certain that we will be lost to us evermore. Ha! I have spoken enough. Let us share in this feast together. Let us share in the feast. That was a nice feast. I am honored that you could attend, Pineleaf. It is such a bountiful feast, and I'm glad to have shared it with you. I don't know where your adventure shall take you next, but I'm certain you will be prepared for it. Be well in your travels, and know that you are always welcome in the halls of Durin's folk. Let's see, how about I suppose. I guess that'll do. I guess that'll do. But now, we need to go back to our study in dragons and the Trail of Rust, which is what we'll do in the next episode of the Complete Pineleaf.